about 2.5 years ago, I'm having a pretty great Tuesday, and it's a very big, important week, and I drive home that night after an event. The 30 seconds it takes me to climb 2 flights of stairs in my house will become the timestamp midpoint on my before and after. Because at the end of those 30 seconds, life would introduce a plot twist to me. It's not really like the rom-coms are, where there's a lot of really great foreshadowing. Some plot twists really do have clear foreshadowing, but my plot twist did not. What it did provide was a very unplanned opportunity for me to take an inventory. And so, after 17 years in a relationship, in a union that I knew very well, I felt compelled to make a life-changing decision. And here's what I learned. Resilience is not a trait. We treat it like it is. We talk about it like it is, like some people have it and some people don't. The reality is that resilience is a skill, and it's available to all of us. And just like any other skill, you just have to go and work on it. I also discovered some very key fundamentals that are critical in the support of building resilience as a skill. And those fundamentals and the discovery of them also became life-changing for me. When you have a disruption, you are going to have some questions. And the first most important question that I could ask is, how am I going to behave right now? When my son was 5 years old, we got crossed up. That had never happened before. But he was doing a whole lot of something that I wanted him to be doing very little of. And I raised my voice at him. That night, he said to me, "I don't like the way you talked to me today. How come you did that?" I'm not going to look at a 5-year-old and say, "Well, I did something you didn't like because you did something I didn't like." I mean, that is what happened. But it seems so illogical to tell a 5-year-old that, and also very bad messaging, setting up a very bad precedent. And so I told him the truth. I raised my voice at you because I wanted to. I will never forget the look on his face. And he asked me, "How come you would want to do that?" It would be so convenient if every time we got dusted up with someone or every time we crossed paths, the simple justification would be, "Well, I did what I did because you did what you did." What we choose to do and say is what we want to do and say. And when you have a disruption, you're going to have all kinds of behaviors that you can choose from, including things that you would never be proud of. And the world is going to give you an alibi. Do not take the alibi. When you have a plot twist and you are parenting, you have a built-in audience. And those children, regardless of their ages, are naturally going to make observations about all of your commentary and all of your actions. So you have to decide very quickly. You have to predetermine, really, are those observations and all of the opinions that will be attached to those observations going to matter to you? I had to guess. Yeah, I think they're going to matter a great deal. So you don't take the alibi. This is the high cost of happiness. Why? Because bitterness is free, and misery is free, and bad behavior is also free. But your happiness is so much more valuable than this. So you can't take the alibi. Happiness is actually a premium experience that we invest in. And that investment requires that you think about all of your decisions and all of your behavior. So, well then, sounds easy. It isn't. How do you get started, right? How do you get directional? Well, I needed a strategy. And my strategy was optimism. Years ago, I managed this incredible team. I mean, they were absolutely top talent. My director calls me in. He's singing the praises of my team. Oh, and by the way, the organization is going to make some changes. I listened to his laundry list of details, and any polished professional would just say, My team can handle any single thing you throw at us. I said, wow, that sounds absolutely terrible. The Sunday night before these changes were going to start to go into effect, I had a lot of consternation because I have no enthusiasm for what is about to go down. But a good leader does not go to work and be a bad example. So what am I going to do? Optimism as a strategy. So I decide, what if all of these changes are great ideas? I needed something to get me through these transitional months. I honestly didn't know if that would even get me through the first 42 minutes of Monday, but I had to do something. So I held on to the concept. I socialized it with my team. I looked for evidence to support it. And I said this to myself every day, what if all these changes are a great idea? Until one day it was true. That's not being naive. Change is happening. I had to adapt. And you have these choices about choosing optimism as a strategy. But if you choose that, if you adopt that, it requires that you are very careful about how you tell your story, not only in terms of content, but in terms of audience. Fundamental discovery: build a personal board of directors. They are handpicked by you. They are going to stabilize you. They are going to support you. They are going to prioritize being in the room with you the night you ask them to. They're going to ask you questions. Some of them are going to be hard. But they're going to listen to every single word you say for as long as it takes. But here's a pro tip. Do you know who is not on your personal board of directors? Like the sweet lady at the grocery store or the fun bartender. When those people ask you how you're doing, it's okay to say you're fine. Just get your snacks, order your Cabernet, keep it moving, and leave them out of it because you can edit who has access to your details. Now, when you think about this optimism, you also want to think about this board of directors. That's your go-to. And they serve a critical role because they are also the guardians of your confidence. Fundamental discovery. In the midst of a disruption, your confidence does not have to be compromised. Why? Because no one else's choice should ever let you determine how you feel about you. And marriage is phenomenal in so many ways. It's an institution of partnership. But what it is not and never will be is a blue ribbon that we wear around to show the world we are meaningful. Now, confidence is not pretending that you are unaffected. You are highly likely to be affected, and that's okay. But fundamental discovery, and maybe the most important one, be unwilling to negotiate your worth. As a leadership coach, as a life coach, I believe there are only 2 times that you should be willing to negotiate your worth. 1, work-related, job interviews, promotion cycles. And the second is never any other time. You do not negotiate your worth, and you do not entertain situations or scenarios that would require you to do so. This is the high cost of happiness. I mentioned early on that was a big week for me. So we know Tuesday was full of surprises, and I love surprises, but mostly like the happy birthday kind. Wednesday morning, I am in my office and something catches my eye. It is a gift that someone gave me. It is a black canvas with white letters that read, "She is an unstoppable force." I have walked by this item hundreds of times. But I saw it on Wednesday because I must have needed to see it on Wednesday. Because Thursday, I'm scheduled to be on stage speaking in front of approximately 7,000 people. I stood looking at this sign, and I remember thinking, someone believes this about me. And then someone believes this about me. Your confidence does not have to be compromised. Now, your confidence will only continue to grow and rise because once you learn how to navigate a difficult situation, you are uniquely qualified to help someone else navigate a difficult situation. When we learn the ropes, it is actually a privilege to show someone else the ropes. This is the high cost of happiness and the plot twist that you did not ask for. Now, someone in this room, you might be dealing with a plot twist of your own. I want you to listen to me and I want you to hear me. You have the capability. You have resilience. You have access to all of these fundamentals. You can be peaceful and powerful, and you can be an unstoppable force. But if you don't know how to get directional, right? Because we're not trying to bounce back. We are forward motion like arrows. You feel stuck? You feel like I cannot get into that room where all of these other possibilities exist for me? You want to call me? Go ahead. Because I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to help you figure out exactly how to throw that door wide open. Thank you.